Do you prefer muted colours over loud colours? Let me take you along as I go from this to this. Hi there, I'm Janine. I'm an artist and I share my creative journey on this channel. I love muted colours, but a great trick I've learned is to start with bright colours instead. That way, once you add more toned down shades on top, you can still see little flashes of bright colours that add depth to your painting. I've started 2 large canvases with brightish colours, and now I want to start toning those colours down a little. Now I want to use up some more leftover paint, but these are paints that are more like the colours I'm planning to use. They're a bit more neutral. I've also got this funny yellow, which I actually like. I'm going to use this calligraphy brush. I'm going to add some of this light colour. Let's try and add some of this yellow over the pink. I'm using quite a bit of water so it spreads easily. I'm just sort of changing the colours and staying very loose with my moths. Changing direction here because it's all very vertical, so now I'm going horizontal there. Now let's try adding some of this darker colour, even though I probably don't really want very much dark here. It's a bit of the contrast is a bit too stark, but I can always go over it. I'm also just mixing some with the yellow that I've got here while it's still wet. Yeah, I'm not keen on that dark colour, but let's add some to this one here. A lot of where I've put the dark red over the blue already kind of is this colour. I don't remember what I mixed in here, but it's just a dark, very dark blue. I think I want a softer brush than this one. Use this makeup brush that I like. I only use that for painting. It's not been on my face. I'm going over some of this light pink and making it a bit more yellow. And I'm mixing it with the still wet blue here. Then let's add some light color over here. Let's bring a bit of light color over here. I'm just twisting the brush on the canvas, make some really uncontrolled marks. I'm just creating like a haze effect over some of the darker areas to make them a bit lighter, also to soften down the marks, just calming it down a little bit overall. Which is quite fun to do. Back to this one, maybe we can do the same over here, create a bit of hazy calmness. I've now got my palette out, so I can do a little bit more precise mixing, and I think I want to mix some of this minty green colour with a bit of magenta just to warm it up, and I don't know what kind of colour that's going to make, but I'm assuming it'll be a bit more neutral. So I'm going to take out some of this. I'm going to take some of this out on my palette. It's quite cool, so I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to it. It's quite pink actually. I'm going to add a little bit more of the green. It looks very light, but I'm sure it'll dry much darker than this.
If you like this video, consider subscribing.
I'm also going to add some of this creamy yellow just to warm it up. Now I think I want to make some of that yellow a bit more neutral. So I'm going to take that mixture I've just made, but then add some of this pre-mixed yellow and also magenta. So that's a little bit more neutral, but still quite yellow. So I'm going to add a little of that dark blue. It's very dark, this. And the key to getting more neutral colors is to simply mix more colors and also to mix complementary colors together. So like a yellow with a blue, a yellow with a purple, or a pink, which is a bit like a red, with a green. That's why I mixed that light green color with the pink. This is more neutral. I'm not sure I like this color in particular, but we'll go with it for now. I do quite enjoy using this palette now. I might try a bigger one. Got a little bit of white on here. And also, if you leave little bits of the brighter colors, the neutral colors will look more neutral next to the brighter colors. So I always leave a tiny bit of the layer underneath coming through when I add another layer. And that's why I start with the brighter colors, because then you have little bits coming through your neutral colors, which will make the whole painting look more interesting. There are these little flecks of white, which I'm not too keen on right now, but I'll leave them for now and I can always paint over them. I'm going to mix some of the dark blue and mix it straight with some magenta and yellow. I've already got magenta and yellow on my palette here. So considering this as a dark blue, if I mix it with a red and an orange, a red and a yellow, so all the primary colors together, that should make a fairly neutral color. It's a bit dark though, and I want it to be a bit more yellow, so I'm adding some more yellow. This dark blue tints very strongly actually, so I need a bit more of the other colors. Let's try that here. I'm going to use this calligraphy brush again. Add a little bit of water. Just adding a touch more pink. This isn't very opaque now, so I'm just glazing over the colours that are there already. And I'm going to mix some more of that colour. Need more yellow. The yellow I'm using is a yellow oxide, which in itself is already fairly muted, or more muted than your standard cadmium yellow or lemon yellow. This is a bit more pink now. I do like it. going over some of these dark areas because they're a bit too intense. Same down here with these dark shapes. Now these bits are also too dark, but I don't want to be too precise at this stage, so I'm just going to kind of roughly go over them. Then you still see little bits of that. It's a little bit of light colour mixed in here, which I don't mind. Quite like this being a bit lighter. Maybe just a touch of the more intense colour. I like to kind of blend them by scrubbing into the dry paint that's already there. So the body of the paint here, of the brush, is where there's less paint, there's more paint here, so if I scrub it, this bit blends into what's already on the canvas. A touch of yellow in here now. Right, now I want to calm this bit down here down a little bit. Let's use a big flat brush like this, and I'm going to add a little more yellow to this mix. Actually, let's use this little tub that I've made. There's only a tiny bit left in here, and I'll add some other colours in here. I'll add a little bit of magenta, some more yellow or yellow oxide, some more yellow oxide, and actually a bit more yellow than pink. And then I'll add, does this brush fit in here? Sort of. A touch of a bit of water actually, just to make it a bit more fluid. Should really use a fluid medium for this. And then a touch of that dark blue. And then we'll mix it and see what happens. It's more pink and more of the blue. Let's just see what that looks like on here. Might be a bit too green. Yeah, it's quite green. So I'm adding opposite of green, red. So my pink is probably still a bit too green, but we'll go with it. Actually, there's quite a lot more red now. I do want this to be a bit more transparent. Might let this dry and then just make this bit, this light bit, tiny bit darker, but not as dark as this. Now I like this texture down here, so I'm keeping that, but these lights I find a bit distracting. I do quite like that there's still a few bits of bright colour. I'm not sure on the very candy pink. I think up here I'm going to add some darker colour too. It's all very samey, so what I might do is I might actually add a little bit more of the dark blue and then make this side kind of a little bit more green. I do have some other pre-mixed colours, for example this one, which is kind of a pinky beige. I might try adding that around here to make that bit a bit more neutral. It's quite pink. It might just look very pink because this bit is very green. Let's move over here for a little bit. I think I'll also add this neutral-ish colour here. I might add a touch of yellow in here. Add a touch of the dark blue and some of that yellow that we were just mixing. I say yellow, that neutral colour we were mixing. More yellow. And then I'm going to have to use a bigger brush here too. Can we add this yellow colour we've mixed somewhere? How about down here? I'm just warming the colours up a little bit with this brown. Now this is mixing a little bit with the light colour that I've put here. I'm just glazing over this to keep the texture underneath, but just change the colour a little bit. I say a little bit, I'm changing the colour quite dramatically. This up here is a bit too icy. Let's go over those bits of blue. Make this a bit more solid down here. Maybe some down here where it's very blue. It's just a little bit disconnected from the edge. So I'm going to go over that and connect that to this shape. I've still kept quite a bit of the more saturated colours, but you can of course keep as much or little colour in your own work as you like. And if you love bolder colours, why not start with colours that are a bit more muddy and then layer your saturated ones on top? Do you gravitate more towards saturated or muted shades? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see how I create a colour palette with lovely muted tones, watch the video I've linked in the description box. Thanks and bye bye.